Hey there, grade 9, 10, and 12 actually. So this is going to help all of you out. So this is the TED Talk video. And so I'm going to talk about this in class when we talk about it in class. So just in case you're watching this in the future. But for those who are taking classes now, this is going to be applicable to you. And so the TED Talk is based on the curricular themes on the front of your course outline booklet. So it's obviously it's different for each grade level, but you just look at the themes. And currently right now for grade 9, it's love, loyalty, conquering, and survival. And grade 12, it's world views. And so identifying either the sense of self, or you're also focusing on the search for self, and the social experience, dealing with various different issues and things like that. So you're looking at 3 to 10 minutes minimum. And preferably we'd be doing this in the classroom, and you'd be standing at one of the podiums and speaking in front of your classmates. And that is to conquer the fear so it doesn't conquer you. And so to help you get ready for the next level, next chapter in your career as a student, moving on to a career. So if you are able to present in front of an audience, then you are taking the first steps to conquering your fear. And the more you do it, the better things will be, and the more confident you become, and the less stress you have, and so on, and maybe some of the anxieties that come with speaking as well are conquered as well. And that's the hope of TED Talks and the purpose of the TED Talks. It's not just a requirement for curricular requirements, it's also to help you become more confident in yourself and your abilities to express ideas and knowledge about a topic of your choice, okay, within the curricular themes, mind you. So in your course outline booklet, you will have this somewhere located there. And I call them TED Talks because it's Charter Educational Discussions, but it's a TED Talk, okay? And so you can read this on your own time, but it's available in your course outline booklet. Just look at the table of contents for the location. And these are things that I'm going to be looking for in your presentation: ability to inform, persuade, and direct. Ability to stand out from the rest. So does your topic stand out from other topics? And to develop those verbal skills as well. And this should help you with career development as well, enhancing those careers, whatever you plan on going into. So you choose a topic that you're knowledgeable in and would like to share, educate with your peers. Some people talk about, the simple things like trips they went on, some of the experiences they've had, some of the transitions they've gone through, the hurdles they've gone through. And I've shown my personal TED Talk about being epileptic. So that's been done in class, and I've shown that. And for those of you that see this later on, I'll probably talk about it as well. But you talk about something you are knowledgeable in, and then you educate it with your peers. And it's 3 to 5 minutes for sure, but 10 minutes is max, okay? And you can make references or you can infer as well. And anything you do make references to, please cite it in your speech. And you have 2 marks. You have a written portion, and that's either your actual speech or it's your point form, jot notes, cue cards, whether it's written on paper, toilet paper, whatever. You submit that and you get your full 30 out of 30 for your comprehend respond mark or your CR mark. And then your create and compose or CC mark is your actual presentation mark. okay? And that's out of 30 as well. And you will receive that mark upon completion of your presentation. If you are in, if we are still in the digital realm and doing it online, then obviously your presentations will be on Meet, Google Meet. And then the other option would be a pre-recorded video presentation as well. That could be a link provided or set up on Google Classroom, that kind of thing. So be sure that it's uploaded before you close out Google Classroom. You see a screenshot of your video, but that's another option. But I do need to see you. So there's the facial expression, the eye contact, the scanning, the body language, those kind of things. Okay. And so you'll be eye contact, voice, and elevation. So, and that's how you express your voice, elevate your voice, not being monoed and one tone the whole time. You actually show some lift in your voice and some enthusiasm, things like that. And the assessment, I have a rubric that I use, and there's 6 points that I will mark it out of 5. And I know it says assess and reflect. I don't do that anymore, so that'd be, you can cross it out. So that's basically what your TED Talk's about. And like to just show a brief, an example of what a TED Talk would look like, just the beginning of it, I would go something like this. So June 26, 1983 was the day that my life changed forever. And for my mother, it changed her life forever as well, because in a letter she wrote years ago, I was taking a course at the university, and I found out that epilepsy is a disability. And for years, didn't have a clue. I didn't tell anybody about it for fear of being stigmatized or whatever the case. But that was my first big seizure, and it was a grand mal seizure. They call them tonic-clonics now. That sounds like a drink to me, but you know, I'll have 2 tonic-clonics, please. Hold the ice. And I've had all kinds of different seizures. I've had petite moles, those just small ones. I've had dizzy spells. I've had auras where it feels like I'm drowning because I have my seizures during my sleep. So I don't have it during the day, thank goodness, because I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing today. I wouldn't have been able to play football or hockey or anything like that. But you know, to feel like you're drowning, and you're trying to get to the surface and you're scrambling, that's the whole seizure itself. The person drops to the floor if it's during the day. For me, of course, I'm in bed, and my arms are flailing. Blood vessels are bursting. I bite my tongue. I'm foaming at the mouth, and I exert every last bit of energy that I have in that moment. And it could last for seconds, it could last for minutes. And in my case, we call 911 all the time, and paramedics come, and it's a very scary thing to see. If you do see somebody having a seizure, clear out any obstacles that might be in their way, and call 911 right away. Talk to the person. Don't touch them. Don't try to pin them down or stick anything in their mouth, because they are going to be strong, because there's so much energy there. And so it's best to just let them go through it. And then when the seizure's done, they'll calm down. And what you do is you roll them on their side and put them in the recovery position to let the fluids come out of their mouth so they don't choke. And then let the paramedics take over. But keep talking to them, and reassuring them, because it is a scary moment for the person going through it as well. Now, I don't remember half or any of what's happened during my seizures. Don't have a clue. I just go by what other people say. And I didn't even know for years what a seizure was like. Just the after effects of not being able to walk for about 2 weeks, having all these blood vessels burst on your skin, and of course a sore tongue as well. And maybe to some degree a fear of going back to sleep again, since I have my seizures at night. I've had dizzy spells during the day, and I've had absent seizures as well, where you just kind of stop what you're doing or you freeze. And I've had cases where I was riding my bike and had an absent seizure and stopped pedaling and fell off my bike. People started laughing at me because I had fallen off the bike, and it didn't help me at all. And it was very frustrating, embarrassing, and of course painful because I had fallen off my bike. In other cases, I just, one example would be I was playing the ukulele for my grandpa and grandma. I was singing the song and I was going, "This is my island in the sun where the people have toiled with time begun," and I freeze. It's like somebody pressed the pause button on the remote, and then all of a sudden I just continue on with the song, and boy, did that scare them. But for me, it's like time never stopped, and I don't remember going through that. And so it's very frustrating, and but now I talk about it freely, and because it's something that I know will help others when overcoming disabilities and challenges and things like that. If I can get through it, even though I'm still going through it, I know I have the support groups in place. I know where I can go to get that support, that guidance, and things like that. Time out. All right, so that's just an example of what a TED Talk could look like, and obviously I can go on and on, but just see how natural it can become if you allow yourself to just let it come out. Okay, so choose something that you are knowledgeable in. Don't do a bunch of research from scratch, because you don't know anything about the topic. Then if you're doing research, choose something you do know about it. You could find information to validate, like to enhance the presentation, like a video, but not the whole video, just a portion of it, and go from there. But you can have some photos to go along, and you can speak while your PowerPoint's going on. But if it's online, I would recommend you do that during Zoom, or use Zoom as your platform, because then I can still see you in the corner. That's how I do these videos. If you have another platform that allows me to still see you while the presentation's on, you can do that. I'm not sure if Google Meet does that or not, but you can kind of fiddle with that. Pre-recorded works too. But once you shift away from you, I can't assess you anymore, even if the video you're showing is applicable. And the video is not included in your timings as well, but just stop the clock during that time. So keep that in mind. But if you are speaking as you go, like showing PowerPoint slides, and I can still see you, then the clock keeps going. But there's probably a lot more questions you may have, but that's pretty much the reduced version of what TED Talks are all about. So I hope this helps you out. And if you have further questions, please ask. All right, take care, be safe.